Hey everybody, Doug Yarber with IXL Education Consultant here in Georgia today to talk to you about one of the most commonly asked questions that I get whenever out there talking with current partners. A little bit about IXL SmartScore. Now, the SmartScore with IXL is what actually distinguishes us a little bit different from most of the other EdTech products that you're familiar with. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out, and don't forget to like and repost for your chance to win this video series raffle. All right, so today we're going to be talking about IXL SmartScore, which works a little bit different than what we're accustomed to. Even me as a former educator, whenever I look at a score ranging from 0 to 100, I instantly think of a percentage score. Well, IXL's SmartScore is not a percentage-based score. Instead, it's the student's work in progression towards mastery. And you can kind of see as I'm answering these questions correct, my SmartScore will go up. Most teachers generally have students work to proficiency, which is that 80 SMART score. And if a student hits an 80 SMART score in IXL, what that means is that they are proficient and they are ready to take those high stakes tests. Now, one thing that does happen, and this is a common question that I get from many partners that I currently work with, is how come IXL SMART score decreases whenever a student misses a question? Well, again, we're talking, this is a work in progression towards mastery. So in order to get a true number, whenever a student does miss a question, that score will go down a little bit. If it didn't actually go down a little bit, we'd actually be looking at an accumulation score versus just, that true SMART score to really know where students are. So quickly as a student, I can look at that remediation really quick and continue to move forward and progress. The way that we kind of justify that 80 SMART score as being proficient, that means that a student is proficient within the skill they're working on. They're ready to take those high stakes tests or milestones or EOCs. If we kind of look at what that 100 represents for a student, so you'll notice that, if you're sitting there looking at us over a student's shoulder, whenever they get to that 90, they're going to enter what's called the challenge zone. My kid gets really excited about this whenever he gets there, where basically IXL is kind of assessing to truly say, yes, this student has fully mastered this specific skill. Now, if we look at that 100 and we say pure mastery, that would be saying that students should be getting an A+ within the content area or the skill. And any educator knows that all students aren't A+ students. With that being said, we shouldn't necessarily set the expectation for all students to hit that 100 SMART score to purely master each and every skill. Now, a good common practice that a lot of teachers that I partner with is they'll actually have students work to that proficiency level. And then after a student hits proficiency, the teacher kind of leaves it up to them. They say, you know what, if you want to continue working towards pure mastery, please do that. And you'll notice that whenever a student does work to full mastery, they get positive rewards right there instantly, just to let them know they did a great thing by mastering this specific skill. Now, the biggest thing about the SMART score too is I was actually talking with an educator the other day, and she kind of put it into a perspective for me. And it kind of made me think about it a little bit that, I hadn't really thought about it from this standpoint. So her own child, who used to work on IXL whenever he was still in public education, would, sometimes he'd miss a question, that SMART score would go down a little bit. But the thing that she truly appreciated as a parent and watching him struggle through this was that it taught her child accountability. So the student knows, or her child knew, that when he was taking a high stakes test, he had one shot to get the question right. So he needed to put forth his best effort in doing it. So that's one of the things that I've come to truly appreciate about the SMART score. I know it's one of those things that's commonly asked a lot, especially with students when they see students struggling a little bit. But struggle is real in the learning process. If we're not struggling, we're not learning. So the way that I used to also kind of reference it to students is, most kids know gamification. Well, if something happens to you in a game, you're not just going to pick up where you left off. You're going to go back to your most previous checkpoint. So that was kind of a way that I put it in perspective for students as well. If you have any more questions about the SMART score, we'd be more than happy to talk to you about it. Feel free to reach out, and I hope y'all have a great day.